You know that feeling, right? When you walk away from a conversation and you just feel seen, like you really connected with someone. Not just the usual small talk, but something way more genuine. Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. The art of having those kinds of conversations, the ones that really stick with you. So let me ask you straight up. Just think about it for a second. What is it for you? Is it sharing a laugh over something ridiculous? Spilling a secret? Just being with someone who gets it? Whatever it is, that feeling is what we're all chasing. And today, we're going to figure out how to create a lot more of it. Okay, so first, we need to get on the same page about a really important word, sensibility. Now, this isn't just about being sensitive. It's more like your emotional compass. It's the skill of tuning in and really understanding emotions, yours and the other person's, and then using that understanding to navigate the conversation. This idea is the foundation for, well, everything else we're about to talk about. Yeah, this really frames it perfectly, doesn't it? We're all on this kind of quest for connection. We're all looking for conversations that feel real, that go beyond just scratching the surface. So let's get into the tools that can actually help us on this journey. So what's the secret ingredient? What's the key that unlocks these deeper connections? Well, it might be something that sounds a little scary, but it's incredibly powerful. It's honesty. But hold on, because as we're about to see, it's not just any kind of honesty. And here it is. This is the secret sauce. It's not about dropping truth bombs on people. It's about taking that honesty and mixing it with a little bit of humor, a bit of lightness. When you do that, the whole vibe changes. It becomes refreshing, not confrontational. It's just easier to take in, and it makes the whole conversation feel so much more comfortable and real. And this is where the magic really happens. It creates this awesome, positive feedback loop. See, you take a small risk, right? You share something real, but you keep it light. The other person feels that. They feel how refreshing it is. And that kind of gives them permission to open up a little too. And before you know it, you're not on the surface anymore. The conversation gets deeper and, honestly, a lot more fun. But let's be real. It's not always that simple. Opening up can feel super risky. We've all been there, wondering, did I say too much or not enough? This is where we have to learn how to find that perfect balance. And this slide just nails the two big pitfalls, right? On one side, you've got turtling up. We've all done this. You get hurt, so you pull back into your shell. It feels safe, sure, but you end up missing out on so much. Then you have the other extreme, brutal honesty. Just oversharing without that sensibility we talked about, and that can make people really uncomfortable and just push them away. So the whole point is to land somewhere in that sweet spot right in the middle. We're aiming for what you could call calibrated honesty. And look, this isn't a switch you can just flip. It's a skill. It takes practice, it takes experience, and it takes learning to read the room and feel out just how much to share and when. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we put it into practice? Finding that sweet spot isn't about memorizing lines. It's about becoming a more mindful communicator and learning to create those connections on your own terms. So here are some fantastic kind of rules of the road. The biggest one, match the other person's pacing. Don't try to force things. Just let that vulnerability happen naturally if it's going to happen. And this is huge. You have to accept that not every single conversation has to be this deep, life-changing moment. Sometimes a fixed surface is totally okay. The goal is just to keep it light but still meaningful. And, where you're having the conversation matters a ton too. One-on-one, it's way easier to read the other person and match their pace, but man, it takes a lot more focus. In small groups, things can click really fast if everyone's on the same wavelength, but it can get a little tricky to navigate if the vibes are off. And really, all of this, it boils down to one final, really powerful idea. This quote just gets right to the heart of it. A quiet mind hears what a loud world forgets. True connection isn't always about what you're saying. So much of it is about what you're actually hearing. When we can quiet down all the noise in our own heads, that's when we start to pick up on all the little things that usually get lost. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a mission. It's not about planning what you're going to say next. Instead, it's about what you're going to listen for. The stuff between the words, the subtle feelings, the things that aren't being said out loud, because that's where the real connection begins. So let me ask you one more time. In your next conversation, what are you going to listen for?